So if you have like a throw blanket or a little pillow, a little bolster that you can sit up on, that'll be useful. So if you can grab that and keep it handy. Go ahead and begin laying down, and you can take the knees out wide, the soles of the feet together, so in a wide bound angle. We can begin just with the arms out, palms facing up. Allow your eyes to close. And you can, if this position on the legs becomes uncomfortable, you can always bring the knees back together. Just respecting your body. And begin to watch your breath. As you watch your breath, and maybe allow it to lengthen out, becoming deeper and slower. Connect that into the body so you can begin to invite awareness of the grounding of the feet into one another and the floor. As you surrender the weight of the legs fully into gravity. And notice that same softening around the hips. And the curvature of the low back. So there's a little bit of space in between the low back and the floor. Not to over arch it, but just to allow its natural curvature to be in place. And then soften the belly, so as each time that you breathe, you experience movement in the area. And feel all the ribs grounded. And allow the breath to also touch the heart. So as you breathe in, expand the belly. You also broaden the rib cage in all sides, expanding the heart space. With the exhalation, let the shoulders and the arms soften deeply. And make sure you can lengthen through the back of your neck, so the chin is slightly down and in. Keep the breath steady and long. And now flip the palms of your hands down so you begin to lengthen through the arms and engage and broaden the hands so it's grounded. And take your knees together. Step your feet towards the edges of your mat, wider than your hips. Spread and lift your toes. Take a deep breath in. And with your exhalation, allow the knees to roll over to the right as you gaze over to the left. Then inhale, come to center, maybe picking the left leg up first to create an opening on the inner thigh. And then as soon as the leg comes over to the left, the right's gonna immediately, not immediately, but at some point follow that movement. Letting these movements be really fluid, intuitive. And using the breath to lead each action in your body. So each inhalation in center, each exhale, this gentle twist, gazing opposite of your knees. Once you have gone side to side equally, bring the knees back to center. Let them rest into one another as the feet remains wider than the hips. Now take the right hand into the belly, the left hand into the heart. Taking a moment to connect with your center. And here, I would like to invite, for this beginning of the practice, gratitude practice. So 3 things that you're deeply grateful for at this very moment. Allowing that to come into your awareness, maybe for images, words. And let it become more than a mental practice, but also felt in the heart and in the body. I'm going to give you a few moments to go through 3 things you're deeply grateful for. Now, when you're ready, just lengthen your body into a full body stretch. Bend the elbows so you can interlace the fingers over your head. Slide the legs over to the right and take the left ankle on top of the right. And then slide the head and the shoulders over to the same side, so you're in a lateral bend here. I want you to use your breath and engagement in the body to create a little bit more lengthening. So with each inhale, reach from the hips all the way into the heels, broaden the ribs. And with the exhalations, use your core to press as much as the left side of the body down and out. That will create a deeper opening on the side of the body. Focus on your breath. Keeping it long and steady. Go ahead and go to the other side. And this time, right ankle goes on top of the left. Slide the head and the shoulders over to the right and the legs, creating as much as lengthening on the right side of the body as possible without rolling too much into the left side. So keep activation to press the right side out and down. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. And by the way, my playlist actually ended up shuffling, so maybe what I said does not apply always. Okay, so come back to center and bring both knees in so you can hug the knees into your chest and just rock the spine side to side, massaging across the back. You can bring that into stillness, and using the hands on the knees, just create a little bit of circle of the knees around the sacrum so the massaging isolates into the sacrum area. You can make as big of a circle or small, slow or fast, whatever you feel called to. Now, keep the knees right on top of the hips and bring the heels up in alignment with your knees. So there's a 90-degree bend on the legs, and take the arms out with the palms facing down again. Ground through the shoulders, through the hands, lengthen the back of your neck. Now you're gonna challenge the abdominals a little bit by pressing the heels slightly forward. Activate the belly, press the lower ribs down, and as you exhale, bend the knees towards the right elbow or right armpit and let the legs hover above the floor. Hug the legs into one another. Then come back to center. Challenge the abdominals again, pressing the heels forward, keep the low ribs down, and exhale, bring it over to the left. You're gonna go side to side. Try to keep the legs connected and hugging towards one another. So you also strengthen a little bit of the inner thighs. Keep an active feet, the shoulders super grounded. And if the neck allows, you can gaze opposite side of the knees. One more on each side. Let the next time that you bring the knees over to the right be the place that you hold. Keep the legs hovering above the floor just for now. Couple deep breaths using the core to hold the legs here. Very good. Then release the legs down over to the right and flip the palms of your hands up so you're in an upper body twist. You can gaze over to the left, that's okay on the neck, and take a couple deep breaths. If you'd like, you can also extend your left leg by reaching the heel over to the right. The thigh bones remain aligned and together. It's just a little bit of opening of the hamstring. Let's go ahead with the palms of the hands back down and pick the legs back up into center. Press the heels forward again, challenge your abdominals. And then as you reach the knees over to the left, hold, keep the legs hovering over the floor, connected into one another, and you can gaze over to the right. Using your core, grounding the shoulders, soften the jaw, deep breaths. And eventually you can allow the legs to come all the way over down to the floor. Flip the palms of your hands up to open the heart and the shoulders. And if the neck allows, you can continue to look over to the right, maybe a little bit deeper. In each inhale, let the ribs expand. Each exhalation, soften a little bit. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and extend the right leg forward. Not forward, but over to the left. So keeping the thighs connected, just reach through that heel. Bend at the knee, flip the palms of your hands down so you can pick the legs up with your core. Then take your knees down to the floor. And returning to the first movements we did of windshield wipes. Knees side to side with the feet wide apart. The gaze can go opposite of your knees. Now find center with these movements and align your heels with your sitting bones, preparing for bridge. Spread and lift your toes to ground through the four corners of your feet. And with the arms alongside the body, you can either ground the hands right next to the hips, or you can bend at the elbows to ground the upper arms, whatever you prefer. Now activate the glutes and inhale, pick the hips up high, keep the glutes super active, the low belly active, and exhale, lower. Just gonna wake up the hips with a couple breaths, using the inhales to lift into bridge, and exhale to bring the hips back down to the floor. In a bridge wave, Setu Bandhasana Ulola. Keep the face soft, the breath steady, and unhinge the jaw if these movements are creating any tension. Now the next time, pick your hips up high, hold, activating both glutes equally, grounding at both feet, arms. And if you have room around the shoulders, you can bring the arms down and interlace the fingers underneath the hips and kind of tuck the shoulders in to create an opening on the heart a little bit more. Make sure you keep lifting the hips up and keep the breath flowing freely. Release the arms out and begin to lower the hips down. To compensate, take the knees back wide, in wide bound angle, the feet together, soles of the feet together. Bring your arms over your head and interlace the fingers on top of the head so you can soften the arms down. If this is uncomfortable in the shoulders, you can separate the fingers and just keep the elbows bent. Take a couple deep belly breaths, maybe recalling your list of gratitude, bringing that back into your awareness. Now flip the palms of your hands. So the palms now with the fingers interlaced and facing towards the crown of your head. Flip it away from the crown of your head and then lengthen your arms over your head fully. Take a couple deep breaths in here. Keep the low ribs pressing down. I'll bend at the knees, bring the knees into the chest. You can cross at the ankles to kind of rock yourself forward. And if you want to give yourself a little rocking, go ahead, or you can just go straight into a hands and knees position. With hands and knees, just take the hands right underneath the shoulders, the knees right underneath the hips, press the feet down, keep the arms straight and strong. You're gonna open up the upper back here with cat and cow. So inhale, draw the shoulder blades down and back, gaze forward and press your hands back so you can lengthen the abdominals. Exhale, release the head down. Press into your hands to bring the shoulder blades apart and round the spine. And for a couple times, just use your breath to flow in between these two movements. Try to slow these movements down so you can really feel the opening through each vertebra. And become really aware of sensations in your body, places that may feel tight. And you can allow this to become a full circle if you want. Just drawing shoulder to hip and then rounding into the cat stretch, drawing the shoulder to hip and opening the heart into cow. It's kind of creating a full circle of the spine. Yeah. You can go in both directions. Yeah. Now take your knees wide, bring the big toes together, and send your hips down and back into your heels so you can come into the wide variation of child's pose. Release the forehead down here. You can stack the hands underneath the forehead if you prefer. That feels more comfortable. And return to deep belly breaths, allowing the belly to expand in between the thighs. And softening really deeply into the floor with each exhalation. Go ahead and add a lateral bend here. So lift the head up for a moment. Walk the hands over to the right. Ground the left hand fully into the floor. And you can bring the right hand underneath the shoulder with the elbow bent. So you can use a little bit as a pulling of the left ribs out. You can use the right hand to help you with that. Keep the left hand fully grounded to the floor. Bring that shoulder back into the shoulder socket. And with each breath, expand the ribs and soften. Walk your way back to center and over to the left this time. Ground the right hand down. Release the forehand, and you can bring the left hand underneath the left shoulder to help you pull the right side of the body open. Come around into center. You're gonna do a little bit of stretch here around the ankles and the feet. So bring the knees together or underneath the hips. And there are two variations to this. One is the toe stuck under, so we're gonna begin there. This one is quite intense. So just as soon as you bring the toes tucked under, begin to walk your hands back, sending a little bit more weight into that stretch. So here's where you can control. So you can stay here to have more control of pressure. But if you feel okay, you may bring the entire weight on top of it. It can become intense. So whenever that's too intense, you can just release it a little bit. So if you are up here, take the hands into the thighs. And let's also add a little bit of stretch around the neck. Take a deep inhale to lengthen the spine fully, soften the shoulders. And exhale, tilt the head over to the left, creating a lengthening on the right side of the body. Draw the shoulders down. Keeping that tilt on the head, just create a little bit of movement around the chin. So the chin comes down towards the collarbone and then up towards the sky. But keeping the tilt on the head. And bring it back to center. Take a deep breath in here, lengthen the spine. At this point, you may be feeling sensation around the feet and the ankle. Can you hear me well? You're releasing a little bit. Yeah, tap your feet. Let's do the other stretch. Just go ahead and do the other one. So bring the soles, the tops of your feet down this time. Once you have released that. And the same thing, bring your weight into the heel. You can control and keep the heels together. So the tendency here is for the heels to go apart. Keep them together. And again, you can stay here controlling or bring all the weight on top of it. Once you're there, you can add the other side of the neck stretch. So tilt the head over to the right, keep the shoulders down. And whenever you're ready, you can also add a little bit of the stretch, the movement of the chin, up and down. And you can bring that into stillness, bring the head back to center, take a deep breath here with a long spine. And then let's release out from this ankle stretch and tap the feet to the floor again. Go ahead and tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up and away from the floor so you can press your hips up high and lengthen the spine into a downward dog. In your first downward dog, allow the knees to be bent. So you can focus on reaching the hips high, the sitting bones up. And then 1 foot at a time, begin to paddle through the heels. So you bend one knee deeper as you extend the other leg and go side to side. Move slowly so you can feel sensation and opening on the calf muscle. Bring that to stillness. Carry your knees slowly down and make a way down into your belly. So you can come into the forearms, whatever way that feels easier for you to come all the way down. Once you're down on your belly, bring both arms out into a T with the palms facing down. Gaze over to the right and begin to activate the glutes to press the front hip points into the floor. Keep that activation, keep the low belly active. Now inhale, bend at the right knee, pick the leg up and across the body and send the leg over to tap the floor behind you. And then come back to center. Keep the arms out to gaze over to the left now, so switching your gaze. Bend at the left knee, bring the leg across the body and over to the right. I'm gonna go side to side, switching the gaze. So the leg is always going away from the side that you're gazing. Make sure that you're using your glutes, your core, and keeping the hands grounded into the floor to support the stretch on the shoulder. And eventually pause with the right leg back behind you. Lengthening through the left arm. Lengthen through the left leg. And use your glutes to open as much as the right side of the body as you can. The right side, right hip. You can add, if you want a deeper opening on the chest, you can add bringing the right arm up and back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Super active glutes. Returning to the lengthening of the breath. Bring the right arm down. Bring the torso back down. Flip the gaze over to the left this time. Pick the left leg up and back. Take a moment here to lengthen the right arm, the right leg. Really active glutes to open up the left hip. Now, if you added that on the other side, you can also take the left arm back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Come back around into your center. Gaze over to the right again. At this time, bend the elbows so the elbows are aligned with the shoulders. The arms fully relax into the floor and bend the knee out to the side, the right knee out to the side. Take a couple deep breaths in here. Deep belly breaths. Reactivate to the belly, the core, the glutes, And begin to walk your elbows underneath the shoulders to lift the heart and the head up. So you're in Sphinx posture here. Keep the right knee out to the side, ground through the hands. Got it. Make sure the elbows are right underneath the shoulders, hands straight forward from the elbows. Now press the legs into the floor, press the left arm into the floor. And inhale, pick your right arm up. Exhale, reach up high towards the sky, opening the heart fully. Keep the legs grounded into the floor. Are you okay? Yeah? Okay. And then release the arm back down. Can do that a couple times. So using the inhale to pick the right arm up, reach out towards the ceiling. And then at some point, hold there into that twist. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears and use the left arm to lift yourself up and away from the floor so you're not sinking into the left shoulder. You can gaze up towards the right thumb. And bring that forearm down. Keep the right knee out to the side. But this time as you bring the chest and the head down, gaze over to the left so you create a different stretch on the neck. Deep belly breaths. Keep returning your attention to the breath. See how much of the right ear can you bring down to the floor. And now let's switch the legs. So extend the right leg back and bend the left knee out to the side. Stay soft and relaxed, breathing down into the belly. Now walk the elbows again underneath the shoulders. So in that Sphinx posture. Active glutes, press the legs down. Active right hand, pick the left arm up with the inhale. Exhale, open the heart fully, reaching up towards the sky. And repeat that maybe 2 more times before holding fully. And when you're ready to hold with an open heart, make sure you lift yourself away from gravity. The gaze can go up towards the left thumb. Press the legs down. After a few deep breaths in here, just release the chest and the head back down. Keep the left knee out, but switch the gaze now over to the right. Bring as much as the left ear down as possible. Bring your forehead to center. Both legs back and the hands underneath the shoulders so you can come up to hands and knees. Sit back again here in a comfortable position, whatever easy, comfortable seated position. And let's just create a full roll around the neck. So begin first by just drawing the chin down and lengthening the back of the neck. Then inhale, gaze up as high as you can to lengthen the front of the neck. And do that a couple times. Keep the shoulders down. If that feels okay on your neck, then go ahead and create a full circle of the head around the neck. Going really slowly, searching for areas of tightness. We can open up those areas by the slow movement connected with the breath. And roll to the opposite direction. Softening the shoulders. And the next time the chin comes down to the chest, pause. Bring the head up into center. Make your way into your downward facing dog. So hands and knees, tuck your toes under, send the hips up and back. You can either walk your feet forward or your hands back, but eventually bend at the knees enough to find a forward fold and release the neck and the shoulders fully. Stay here, hanging the spine in distraction just for a few breaths. With the knees soft, you can just lift up through the tailbone and allow the chest to rest on the thighs. With active glutes and core, keep the arms and the head hanging heavy and roll your spine slowly up. Letting the shoulders and the head be the last one to come up. Roll the shoulders back. And bring the head back into the center. Now here, take an inhale, bring your arms over your head. Exhale, hinge through the hips and forward fold. Just gonna do a little bit of flowing here. With your inhale, sit down back into your chair, Utkatasana, bring the torso and the arms up. And exhale, come up to standing, arms around, so the hands can meet at the heart. One more of this half sun salutation. Inhale, lengthen the side of the body, picking the arms up. Exhale, hinge through the hips with an open heart, forward fold. Come to chair. And all the way up to standing, so the hands can meet at the heart space. One more. Following your own breath. Nice. And once you come into standing next, connect the hands into the heart, close your eyes. Reconnect with the depth of your breath. Feel the soles of your feet. With the hands connected to the heart, maybe experience your heartbeat. Come aware of sounds in the room. Then take your hands into the hips, open your eyes. Engage to a point of stillness in front of you. You can step back with your right foot. Gonna kind of be what you see here. Step back with your right foot. So your right foot is a little bit of an angle there. Bend the left knee right on top of the left ankle. With active glutes, press your hips forward, turning the right hip points towards the front edge of your mat. So you can wiggle your foot if you want a little bit more space in between the legs. Make sure that the right heel is fully grounded. Good. Then inhale, take your arms up and over your head. Exhale, bend the elbows and open the heart up as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Then bring the arms all the way down. Spine back to center and inhale, arms back up. So you flow a little bit here with this movement around the upper spine. Yeah, that's beautiful. One more. And then hold with an open heart. Reach from the shoulders into the elbows. Pick the ribcage up away from the pelvis with really strong glutes. And bring your hands into your hips. Shift your weight into the front leg so you can step forward and shake off the ankles. And take one breath into a forward fold to release. So inhale, pick your arms over your head. Exhale, hinge through the hips and fold into your legs. Take a couple deep breaths in there. Active glutes and core. Head hanging heavy, arms hanging heavy. Roll your spine slowly up. Good. Take your hands back into your hips, a point of gaze in front of you, and step back with your left foot this time. Again, you can wiggle the right foot as much as needed to create more space, and bend the knee right on top of the ankle, keeping the left heel fully grounded. Press back through the left leg and square the hips to the front of your mat with super active glutes. Now let's create a little bit of movement around the upper body. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend at the elbows, open the heart. Then draw the arms back down and repeat that 2 more times. Really opening the body, energizing for the week ahead. Once you open the heart fully, hold. Keep pressing back to the left heel. Pressing the hips forward and the heart up. Beautiful. Take your hands into the hips. Shift your weight forward and step forward to the front of your mat. Shake it off. Now take another inhale to bring your arms over your head. Exhale, hinge through the hips and forward fold again. Release the neck and the shoulders. Now bend your knees enough to ground the hands down and step back into your downward facing dog. Your knees slowly down. Come into a seated position. So you can roll yourself slowly down into the laying down onto your back. You're gonna first just create that windshield-like movements again. Yeah, take your time to have some water. Knee side to side. Using your glutes to keep opening up the front of the hip. Now let's open up the glutes a little bit. So with the knees back to center, align the heels with your sit bones and take your right ankle on top of the left near thigh. Spread and lift your toes and bring your legs in so you can grab a hold behind the left thigh, making sure that the right arm goes in between the legs. So you can interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Keep the back of the neck long, the shoulders grounded. Make sure the right foot's active and flexed with the toes spread wide. And you can bring the legs really close or not so much. You can control that. Use long exhales to invite a little bit release. So inform the nervous system that it's okay to let go and soften. And bring your left foot down to the floor. Grab a hold with your left hand into your right ankle, if that's reachable for you. Then take your right arm out into a T and bring this shape over to the left, just for a moment. Keeping that energy of pressing the right hip forward. Go ahead and bring that to center. Place both feet into the floor so you can switch to the other side. Left ankle on top of the right thigh. Foot super active. Then bring the legs in, grab a hold behind the right thigh, making sure the left hand goes underneath, in between the legs. Deep, long exhales. Keep lengthening through the back of the neck, rounding down through the shoulders. And also aiming the tailbone down at the same time that you bring the legs in. Take the right foot into the floor, and if it feels okay for you to reach the left ankle, go ahead and do it. You don't have to. Then take your left arm out and bring this leg shape over to the right. Press the left hip forward. Bring the legs to center. Place both feet down. Take your legs back into your chest, and this time lifted wide bound angle. So knees out wide, soles of your feet together. You can grab a hold of feet, ankles, or shin. And as you press your tailbone down, at the same time, turn the thigh bones out. Use the feet pressing into the hands to lengthen the arms and ground the shoulders. With that, you can use it's also gaze side to side, so you add a little bit of stretch on the neck again. And then if you want, you can go into either happy baby pose, grabbing a hold of the big toe with the first two fingers, or you can just grab a hold behind the thighs and press the heels out a couple times so you can have a deeper inner thigh stretch. So just lengthening the legs one at a time or both at the same time. At some point, you can reach both heels out to get both legs long and take a few breaths in here. Now for Shavasana, if there's any final posture movement you want to go through, go ahead and go through that. My music is completely crazy today, I don't know why. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the shanti or just turn off this playlist completely so you can have a Shavasana with some peaceful background. If you're ready for Shavasana, you can prop yourself up with a blanket, bolster underneath the knees, or a pillow underneath the head. Just go ahead and close your eyes. Soften the ankles. Feel the weight of the knees and the hips. Release the shoulders as you allow the weight of the arms to surrender. And as you're held by the support underneath you, let the spine and the head deeply melt into the floor. You may take one deep breath in and exhale out through the mouth and let that be the deeper release. Do that a couple of times. And at some point, just let the breath be free, coming in and out through the nose. I'm going to stay here for a couple minutes, and when the time is up, I'll let you know. My voice will return to you. Swallow and allow the breath to gradually deepen. You can smile gently to yourself as you begin to create gentle movements through the fingers, the toes, the wrist, and the ankles. Then taking a deep inhale into a full body stretch. You can bend at the knees, plant the feet into the floor. And then roll into one side of the body so you can rest the head in the bottom arm. And use that position to roll slowly up into an easy seated posture. And I would like to use a few minutes here for us to sit in meditation. So whenever you come up, take your time, just grab a hold of your blanket or the pillow that you brought with you, or maybe even the block, so you can sit up on that. And you can bring one heel in and then the other in a way that you're not pressing on anything. The circulation keeps going well. And take your hands into the knees, just take the palms facing up, in a receptive position. Lengthen the spine, close the eyes, soften the entire face and jaw. And for a few moments, bring your full focus into your breath. Maybe that sensation right at the tip of your nose. Whenever your attention goes off and out into thought, just bring it back into the breath. I'm going to give you a few minutes of meditation. Take the deepest breath in, filling up the belly, the heart, all the way up into the collarbones. Hold at the top and exhale out through the mouth. Take your hands into the heart space in classic prayer posture, Anjali Mudra, and bow the chin down and in, keeping your eyes closed and your attention inward. And here I invite you to set an intention for your day, for your week. Any word that holds meaning to you. It could be peace, healing, love. Let that awareness of the word stay with you, the body, mind, and heart. So you can carry that through each action throughout your day, throughout your week. Repeating that silently to yourself a couple times. I thank you deeply for your trust, your presence, your energy. The light in me bows, honors, and sees the very same light within you. Namaste.